is yours.
Thank you, Sophia. Dear Deputy Ambassador Lagacé, esteemed government representatives, civil society colleagues, first of all, excuse me for my raspy voice. I've been a bit ill over the last few days, but I just couldn't stay away because I promised too many kids to represent their voices here today. Many of us probably have children, some of us also grandchildren. As a parent myself and a grandmother, it is my daily concern that our children can grow up safe and happy. Imagining that tomorrow war would come to our country and our children should live the physical and psychological consequences of war is a real nightmare for me. Yet this nightmare is a devastating reality for millions of children in today's world. Can you imagine? 470 million children are growing up amid war and conflict. Over 30 million children have been forced to flee their homes, left vulnerable to abuse, exploitation, and deprivation. 35 years ago, the governments you represent adopted the Convention on the Rights of the Child. This convention is not just a list of suggestions. It lays out a series of obligations and serves as a worldwide moral compass. A moral compass that should inspire us, motivate us, and drive all our actions as decision makers and global leaders. On the eve of the 35th anniversary of the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, we should ask ourselves, are we fulfilling our promise to protect children's rights and prioritize their safety, well-being, and best interest? In my personal view, and with 20 years of experience in this sector, I have to say the answer is no. Every day, children are harmed under our watch and our inaction. The scars of conflict, emotional, psychological, and physical, are unfair and inhuman, and they persist long after the fighting stops. The consequences of war and violence are felt by the children, the adults, and their societies for years, and if not addressed, for generations. No child should endure this, no society should accept this, and no economy or political system can thrive under these conditions. It is high time for leaders to uphold their obligations under the Convention and ensure that children's rights are respected, protected, and fulfilled. Most of you know what humanitarian law and the Convention require us to do to protect children, so I won't repeat it today. But the one action that I want to underline is the need to prevent child-family separation and family loss. As an organization that works every day to prevent family separation and that sees the devastating consequences for a child when losing the care of their parents, we cannot underline enough the fulfilling this right is something that must take priority. Today, I am proud to share the story of Stomping for Peace, a movement from and for children with a collective demand for change. The Stomping for Peace movement started in March of this year in Belgium, where thousands of children in schools decided to stomp their feet on the ground to clearly show their worries, fear, and anger when looking at the daily images of war and conflict throughout the world. But also with a clear message to governments. We want peace, stop the violence. This simple yet profound act of children caught the attention of the Belgian media. It amplified their voices and inspired hope and urgency. We then shared this idea through the SOS Children's Villages Federation, operating in more than 130 countries and territories. And today, more than 40 countries are true advocates and are Stomping for peace. Children learn about the Convention on the Right of the Child, about the UN as an important institution that was created to secure peace and prosperity. They still believe that people at the UN will listen to them and act and can really make change happen. Please don't disappoint them. We will now play a video about this movement with the support of Martin Garrix, a famous Dutch DJ. And if you don't know him, just ask your children or your nieces or nephews, they will know him, who has donated his song, Aurora, to be the heartbeat of this movement, a soundtrack for unity, resilience, and hope. To those here with us and those watching around the world, just feel free to stand up, stomp your feet, and follow the collective force of this call for peace and hope. Thank you.
He was 9, and everything was going well. Until a war tore him apart from his family. I feel sad. I am upset. So we stomp.
Every day children are dying. We are stomping for peace. Please stop the war.
Intentándole que no se ponga más triste sobre la guerra y ponernos como nosotros, felices, cosas así.
Turns out that he is not alone. This is a global problem. Children from all over the world are suffering. Growing up in danger without their parents, this can't continue. He does not stand alone. No child should ever grow up alone.
Well, the stage is set. I have not seen anybody stomping. It seems you're not angry enough, or maybe you are, but we've been trained not to show it like children do. I recommend, though, you go back home, you think what you do every day, you look at the world, shut the door, and stomp in your room a little bit. Feel it. Be a little bit angry. We have enough reasons to do that. And then get to action. Let's solve the problems. And for that today, we have amazing panel of experts and people that can share ideas, that can share recommendations. Let's roll up our sleeves. I'm about to take off my jacket so that we can get to action. What can we do and what can we do now? All of us in the room, civil society, governments, students, thanks for coming, and all of us online, including some of the children that are watching us and are going to watch the recording afterwards. I'm going to start, let's do a first round of questions maybe about what is the panorama? What are we really talking about? What have we done and what is going on that makes children stomp on the ground in anger? And then the second part, we're going to talk a little bit about what can we do about it, and get some recommendations from you. The first panelist is not in the room, but is the most important one. And I would say, with all due respect to the rest of the experts and excellencies, the real experts and the ones that can really guide the rest of the actions we plan during the next hour in the event today. We're going to have a video again. Flying children around the world to come to the UN is not always easy. We should do it more and more often. But this time, we opted to have 3 children from a school in Belgium that we thought summarized very well what we have heard through the campaign. And they said, we have a message for the UN. As Hilde was saying, they still look at us and trust in us. Let's see for how long. It depends on us partly. And they have a message for you, mostly governments in the room. So let's get to it. What are children telling us to do?
Ik ben Emil en ik ben hier om te spreken voor kinderen over de hele wereld.
Ik heb het geluk om hier veilig in België te wonen, maar veel andere kinderen hebben dat niet.
Biljoenen kinderen wonen in oorlogs- en conflictgebieden. Ze hebben dagelijks te maken met gevaar, geweld en pijn. Terwijl ik naar school ga, speel en sport, moeten zij omgaan met bommen, het verlies van hun huis en het verlies van hun familie.
Ik begrijp niet dat volwassenen met oorlog conflicten willen oplossen.
Ik zou echt niet weten wat ik moet doen zonder mijn mama en papa.
35 jaar geleden beloofden de Verenigde Naties om de rechten van kinderen te beschermen. Really? Echt waar? Het is alsof de wereld ervoor kiest om oorlog en geweld in stand te houden.
Jullie hebben nog veel huiswerk.
Ik heb een boodschap namens alle kinderen. Wij willen vrede. Stop met vechten en begin aan een veilige toekomst voor kinderen.
Ik vraag echte verandering. Oorlog raakt ons allemaal. We zijn allemaal verdrietig, bang en boos. Doe beter je best.
Het is tijd voor actie.